In the Ambrona Valley of Spain.
What's going on, everybody? This is Sean of Raw Select Music. Today I want to talk about this reissue label right here. This is Dynamite Soul, a seemingly UK-based reissue label that was only active from 2006 to 2008. While on a recent digging trip down in Tokyo, I stumbled across several of these records at a disc union, and when I found them, I got really excited. As a fan of Dynamite Soul records from a long time ago, I was really happy to add these to my collection, and I thought now would be just as good of time as any to talk about one of my favorite reissue labels and let you know why, if you ever stumble across any of these records, you might want to give them a shot, because there's so much good music on this extremely mysterious, obscure record label. So with that little introduction out of the way, yeah, let's talk about these guys. All the record labels and artists that I've talked about on this channel, Dynamite Soul may just be the most mysterious and obscure record label I've ever talked about. Literally, I could find no information on this label aside from a Discogs listing that said that they put out about 20 or so records, and seeing somewhere that they might have been based out of the UK. But in terms of who's behind them, having a website, whether or not these are bootlegs or officially licensed records, I couldn't tell you any of that, because there is no information to go on about these guys. Still, that doesn't take away from the overall quality of these records, and really shouldn't scare you off from picking these up if you ever stumble across them, because there's some really good stuff on here. Exposure to Dynamite Soul was actually through these two records right here. This is Alter Ego, an extremely obscure group that I've never heard of, doing a cover of bongo rock, backed with this absolutely incredible Churchill stage band cover of Stevie Wonder's Superstition, one of my all-time favorite covers, and this one always hits the crowd perfectly every time that I play it. And the other one that I picked up early on was this guy, a cover of Michael Jackson's I Want You Back by the SO Trinidad Steel Band. So it's exactly what you think it is. Soon after picking them up, as soon as I saw a Dynamite Soul release, anytime that I went on a digging trip or at a local record store, I always went out of my way to pick them up. Unfortunately, I don't have all 20, and some of the other records have been sold out for a while and are becoming increasingly more difficult to get a hold of. One of my favorite things about this label, aside from all the different covers like Stevie Wonder's Superstition or I Want You Back, or this Music Circle cover of Herbie Hancock's Chameleon, or this badass cover of Dance the Kung Fu, is they also cover a lot of different ground as well. This record right here covers some obscure Indian soundtrack stuff, and actually one of the songs on here is the track that Madlib used one of the songs on J-Lib. On top of that, now I have a 7-inch copy of Rene Costi's Scrabble, one of my favorite library tracks, and on the back of it is this really obscure BBC library record that's got lots of weird synths and funky drums on it, the sort of stuff that I'm constantly looking for. Then you get into some more territory like psychedelic pop soul sort of stuff. I really enjoy this music, but really haven't the slightest clue where to start, which is why I really dig this 7-inch right here. Then an awesome cover, Soul Man, backed with the sample that Jurassic 5 used for one of their interlude tracks on Quality Control, as well as this super funky cover of Tubular Bells, backed with a high school band doing a cover of the theme from Rocky. That I felt like going through all of these records is I felt the need to sort of show off all the different facets of this record label. You want some funk and soul? You got it. You want funky covers? You got it. You want obscure, weird covers? You got it. You want some psychedelic pop stuff? You got that too. You want some library music? Sure, why the hell not? It's reissue labels like Dynamite Soul that really make me want to defend reissue companies, because I think one of the services that these sort of things provide is, one, you don't have to buy an entire LP just to get get one really cool track that you want. A lot of the songs on here come from LPs rather than 7 inches. Not this one, though. So, rather than having to go out of your way to buy an LP for one track that you want, you get the one song that you want at a relatively reasonable price. If you do run across them, probably not going to spend much more than you would for a new release. And also, a lot of the records that Dynamite Soul put out are so obscure that you're probably never going to run across them in the first place. So, having a reissue label put them out so they're actually back available for public consumption, I think is a great service. And I think Dynamite Soul has done a great job curating some really good covers, some really good funk and soul, some really good psychedelic pop, some library stuff. It covers a whole wide variety of music, and I would recommend that anyone who's sort of wanting to dip their toes into the world of funk and soul music and not really knowing where to start, you really can't go wrong with these guys, because it pretty much gives you a little bit of everything, showing obscure music that most people don't know outside of the really hardcore crate diggers. So yeah, I think that's all I really got to say about Dynamite Soul for today. So if you ever run across a Dynamite Soul record, definitely pick them up, because these are definitely worth your time and worth your money. So that's going to be it for me today, guys. Thanks as always for watching. If you've listened to any of the records or any of the artists that I talked about in this video, please let me know what you thought about them down in the comments. As always, please head over to my WordPress or Steemit blogs, because that's where I will be posting music links to any of the records that I talked about in this video. And as always, please also head over to my Mixcloud so you can check out Raw Select Radio, the audio component of this whole YouTube channel. There, you can hear me play records such as the ones that I talked about in this video, as well as a whole host of other records that I don't get a chance to talk about on this channel. Links to everything, as always, down in the description. So that's going to be it for me today, guys. Thanks as always for watching, and I will catch you in the next video. So until then, peace out!